educated woman and living in a van.
Last year she was in Gloucester Avenue, now it's our turn.
Mr. Bennett, the ideal would be off-street parking.
We were just saying how grateful she'll be.
Alan first wrote a diary. He first published a diary of the old lady's 20 years in his life.
I moved into a street called Gloucester Crescent in Camden town in the late 60s, and she was living in a van in the street, and I eventually found it stopped me working, really. So I thought, well, if she comes in my garden, I'll be able to get on with some work. Thinking it would be for about 3 months, well, it turned out to be about 15 years.
I think you got two very individual people facing up to each other, really, and the fact that it's a true story, that Alan allowed it to go on for as long as it went on, is incredible.
You couldn't make it out. It's like, you know, life's stranger than fiction again. And whenever you come across a real story like that, and I made a few of them, I always think, you know, it's relatable on so many levels. And in the hands of these supremely talented writers and directors and actors, elevates it even further. So with the talent involved, this is a story that could entertain.
Maggie Smith is phenomenal in this film. I think it's an incredible performance. She sort of exposes something about that woman and her battle with life and her kind of strange take on life. And there's a kind of rawness about Maggie's performance in this film, which I think is quite extraordinary, really.
Since the late 1950s, she's been giving incredible performances in incredible plays and incredible films. She's won 2 Oscars, and she's an unbelievably funny person, but she can also break your heart, and she does both in this film.
It's a comedy with some tragedy in the core, and it's an extraordinary character study of Miss Shepherd, you know, somebody who actually existed. It's a plea for us to look at each other, you know, beyond the surface as human beings, and in the end, it's a kind of celebration, really, of both Alan and Miss Shepherd, I hope.
To me, what makes a great film are great characters, great narrative, and great performances. So it has all of those.
I was absolutely thrilled, and I'd do anything for either Alan or Nick when it comes to something creative. It was a great play, so I'm very, very excited to see it.
Would you like to push me up the street?
Not particularly, no.